Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel, the Warlord Card Gamer. Today we're doing a haul video actually. So I bought some cards. Woo! So this is actually an APS, it's an adventure pack set is what they're called, that I didn't have before. So now we're going to be able to do an unwrapping, an overview of what comes in this APS, so that if you ever have it or have the opportunity to buy it, you can decide whether or not it's worth it for you. Let's just get in here. Ooh, and I got some promos. Cool. Awesome. All right, so this is actually, it is base set. All right, look at that. It is the APS number 6, and it comes with Deverinians and Dwarves. The MSRP on these originally was $32, which means that they're basically $16 per deck. These are, so basically this is from 4th edition. This is the last edition, in case you weren't aware. That came out for Warlord. This came out in late 2008, and yeah, so that was 12 years ago now. Holy crap, time flies. And basically the point was that there were no more booster packs, so these became a thing of the past, as they still are, unfortunately. Basically, there was no randomization in 4th edition. Everything was set, where if you bought one of every single APS from a set, you would have guaranteed 1 of every rare, 2 of every uncommon, and 3 of every common. And so in this base set, there were 6 APSs, so this is one of them. So there you go, at the top it says what it comes with. It is I can't read, yeah, there we go. Dwarf and Deverinian, there we go. All right, so let's jump in. There we go, somewhere. So unfortunately, these are out of print now, but you can still find them on eBay, which again, if you're looking for stuff, please click on the links below. That helps the channel, and that allows us to continue doing these videos and hopefully finish up the collection, because we're missing quite a few APSs still. All right, and the seller was kind enough to offer a couple of free promos, so those are pretty cool. Let's get in there and take a look at what we got. I didn't remember that. These are always cool like that. All right, so cool. A promo Deverinian, promo Dwarf, and an alternate art version of Narm Sin, which is one of my favorite warlords, and a Phoenix Feather. So let's go into the Dwarf, because that's the first one that we mentioned. Come on. There you go. Theckham Rockbender. He is a level 5 cleric warlord. Adjacent characters gain the gargoyle trait, which is really cool. He's actually pretty powerful. Your gargoyles within 1 rank gain +3 attack and power attack +5. Dwarf clerics you control may equip 1 fighter item. So this is the essence of basically a cleric fighter. It's really cool. So you get one of those. Cure lethal wounds. This was a classic card, and in 4th edition they added traits, so this is a water card now. Spend order. Target a wounded character, remove all wounds from the target. Spend a react before target character suffers wounds, reduce their wounds to 0. Divine Barrier. This is an uncommon, the previous one was a rare. React after target character targets this cleric with a melee strike, perform a melee strike against a target. So this is like, if you're playing Magic, this is basically an instant. Before you attack me, I get to strike you. Or before you strike me, I get to strike you. Banish the wound. This is the lower version of the previous one, cures serious wounds. Spend a react before target character suffers wounds, reduce the wounds by 1. And we get 2 of those. It's an uncommon. Holy Might. Order. Target a character in play. The target gains either +3 attack or +3 AC until end of turn. Remove 1 wound from the target if possible. Sacrifice. This is another version of removing wounds. Before target character you control suffers wounds, this cleric suffers 1 wound. Reduce the wounds by 1. The target's wounds by 1. So we get 2 of those. Course Patience. Order. Perform a +5 range strike that does not inflict wounds. If the strike hits, stun the target. Very powerful. That can be a game changer. Withering Gaze. Spend order. Target stun character does not unstun during the next ready phase. Or, you can do the order. Target a character within 2 ranks. The target must succeed with a magic save, DC 9, plus twice this cleric's HP, or become stunned. So basically that's usually a DC 15. Which is still about a 25 to 35% chance of failing usually. There's 2 of those. Here's another rare, Slate Gargoyle, and this is I believe most of these are reprints. Unique Dwarf Gargoyle, level 5 cleric. May not equip armor. You must have a level 5 or higher cleric for Slate Gargoyle to enter play. When searching your deck, you may not remove Slate Gargoyle. Spend order, ready another Gargoyle. Order, once per turn, spend an adjacent Gargoyle and ready Slate Gargoyle. So yeah, that's a lot of ready tech. It's pretty powerful. Magma Gargoyle. He's also really powerful. You must control a cleric from Magma Gargoyle to enter play. After Magma Gargoyle performs a melee strike that hit, target one item equipped to the target of the strike, destroy the item. So that's also a game changer. Brawl is pretty powerful. Again, the essence of this deck. He is a cleric and a fighter. Enters play as if he's level 4. He has 2 feats, medicine and defend. At +0 and +4, he's got 6 skill, 2 hit points. Before Brawl is killed with a melee strike by target character performing melee strike against the target. Here's another rare. Cone Peace Hand, Dwarf, unique level 4 cleric, spend order, target a character within 1 rank, remove 1 rune from the target. Atone is uncommon. Spend a react, after Atone enters play, target another dwarf, remove 1 rune from the target. Wall, this is a very important classic level 2 character. Spend a react before a melee strike roll or range strike roll, targeting a dwarf within 1 rank of wall. Give the dwarf +5 AC for the duration of the strike. That's a pretty common starter. Sky, really important. Spend a react before a dwarf you control makes a melee strike roll. The strike inflicts an additional wound if it hits. Crystalline Gargoyle. Dwarf Gargoyle. While Crystalline Gargoyle has 1 or more wounds, it has the ability order, spend a cleric within 1 rank, remove 1 wound from Crystalline Gargoyle, and ready it. Pretty powerful. You get 2 of those. Arla Favor Sight. Spend order, target a dwarf. The target gains a bonus or penalty to his attack equal to his AC -10 until end of turn. I was never a fan, but I heard a lot of people love that. Rust Gargoyle. I believe this one was new. So it's a level 2 wizard. I've got a friend who calls him Trusty Rusty. Yeah. After a target character is hit with a melee strike by Rust Gargoyle, the target must succeed with a dexterity save, DC 6 plus total levels of the target's equipped items, or destroy 1 item of your choice. So basically, this is great against somebody who what do you call it, a tank, somebody who equips lots of items, if you can actually hit them. Prophet, this is the staple starting level 1 character. Dwarf Assassin, stealth +8, so basically you need to roll 11 or better to be able to actually get that stealth, which cancels that melee strike against him, or range strike. While in opposing formation, Prophet gains +4 levels for equipping items. That's pretty random. Basically, he's got good AC, and that stealth allows him to survive. So we get 2 of those. Shadowstone Gargoyle, Dwarf Assassin Gargoyle, stealth +8, so again, really good stealth. Means he needs a 9 or better. Once per turn, if Shadowstone Gargoyle is ready, succeed with a stealth check, DC 20 to spend it, and move it to the front rank of another formation. So basically, starting your first order could actually be to move him to your opponent's first rank. It's not game-changing, but pretty cool if you want to mess with them. Well, we got 3 of those in here. This one's a good one, again, because it's got hit points. Magnite Gargoyle gains +1 HP for each adjacent cleric. Magnite Gargoyle. Chant, level 1 cleric. Dwarfs adjacent to Chant gain +2 AC. So as you can see, this is a very army deck. Basically, they all support each other. So dwarves and clerics do best. Watcher, level 1 fighter, dwarf. Watcher ignores the planar trait with melee strike. So planar trait can be really annoying if the dice gods are against you. So that definitely helps. This is a rare chirurgery kit, which comes from the French word of surgery. Medicine +5. Spend order, target a character in this rank, succeed with a medicine check to remove 1 wound from the target. So basically you have to do medicine twice, but you have to spend for the second one. This is a rare, and this was not a reprint, this is new. Shield of the Simurg. Strikes that inflict more than 1 wound only inflict 1 wound against this cleric. Wounds from strikes against this cleric may not be reduced. So yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword. Guarantees that you can only be hit for 1 wound at a time, but you can't reduce them. You can only remove them once they've actually been inflicted. This is new, actually. This is a great card. I love this card. Hod's Legacy. Weapon, unique, level 7 cleric item. Spend order. Spend Hod's Legacy. Ready, target lower level spent, not stunned character of the same faction. And order, spend Hod's Legacy, unstun target lower level character of the same faction. So you can't do both of them on the same turn because you have to spend the item, but pretty powerful. This is also one of my all-time favorites. Spend a react before target character suffers wounds. Remove a charge from Lightning's Iron. Reduce the wounds by 1. So allows you to basically heal multiple times on multiple turns. Healing Potion. Character may not equip more than 1 healing potion per game. Destroy healing potion. Remove 1 wound from a character in this rank. Before target character in this rank suffers wounds, destroy the healing potion. Reduce the wounds to 0. Squire's Banner. Unique. React once per turn before target adjacent Warlord suffers wounds. Inflict the same number of wounds on this character. Reduce the target's wounds to 0. Blessed Vestments. This is very basic and classic armor for clerics. +1 hit point, just +1 AC. Rondoran Staff. Weapon. Level 6 cleric item. Spend order, target, and stun Rondoran Staff. Target all wounded characters within 1 rank. If this cleric is in your front rank, remove 1 wound from each target. So that's cool if people spread the wounds around, but generally people like to kill one thing at a time. This one was a double-edged sword if I've ever seen one. Twofold Tiger's Lies. While Twofold Tiger's Lies is ready, other characters in this rank gain +3 attack and suffer -5 AC. While it's ready, they also inflict an additional wound with melee strikes against characters of equal or lower level compared to their own. Order, spend Twofold Tiger's Lies. So basically, at the beginning of the turn, if you lose initiative, then obviously you're at a disadvantage because all of your characters in the front rank have -5 AC. But if you win initiative, it can be a game changer because now they have +3 attack and do initial wound. Blasphemous Sign. Adjacent characters gain +3 attack. Balian's Helm. Adjacent characters gain +2 AC. There's a trend here. Divining Cards. Spend Divining Cards. Look at the top 2 cards of any deck. Top 5 of this cleric is a seer. And put them all at the bottom or the top of the deck in the same order. Double-Bladed Sword. Weapon, shield. After this fighter performs a melee strike that hit, spend Double-Bladed Sword. If the strike roll was 11 or better, this fighter performs a melee strike with an attack equal to the previous strike. So, yeah, basically if you hit your opponent and you had rolled an 11 or better, you get another strike. Doesn't have to be against the same character. Tanning Knife, level 4 fighter item, weapon. This fighter inflicts an additional wound with melee strikes against monsters and dragons. Before target opposing monster or dragon is killed by this fighter, if this fighter is a ranger, equip the target as an item card with the armor trait and an AC bonus equal to its printed level, regardless of class and level. Pretty janky. Helm of Core. Cleric item, react after an opposing character readies from an opposing character's action outside the ready phase. Spend the Helm of Core, ready a character you control. And then these are, so those were the last 5 cards. Basically, these decks come with 55 cards, and the last 5 are not supposed to be part of the deck. You can put them into it if you want, but yeah, so a deck has a minimum of 50 cards in it. Sedaya Rowan, level 3 Mercenary Druid. React once per turn before an opposing character readies from an opposing character's action outside the ready phase. Target a character the opposing character does not ready, you may ready the target. So basically it's better than this because you actually cancel the opponent's readying action. 2 of those. Minor Dragonkin, which is also a classic card. Level 2 Mercenary Rogue. Once per turn, that order. Target an item within 1 rank, succeed with a magic check, DC 8 plus the item's level to destroy the item. So that's pretty powerful. Alright, so that was the Dwarf deck. So we'll go through quickly and see what the rares were. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so that was the 10 rares. Okay. Now we're going to go on to the Deverinian deck. This is Brimmen of the Marches. Marches. Brimmin of the Marches. And so this is kind of a remake of an older Warlord. Her name was Duchess Brimmin, originally. Yeah. Not a huge fan of the new art. I really like the old art a lot better. You know what? I actually have a deck that comes with that, so let me show that to you. There we go. So, that was the original art. And I'm partial to that because I actually played her a lot when I first started playing. So definitely, I like her art, and I like this card a lot better. But, yeah. They remade her. Brimmin of the Marches. Deverinian Warlord, adjacent lower level Deverinians gain defend +3. So that's very gimmicky in my opinion. Not a huge fan of defend particularly. I think it's one of the weaker feats. Basically means that when your opponent targets this character, your adjacent characters can try and redirect the strikes towards your other characters. And so, yeah, I guess it helps a little bit, but not a huge fan. And +3, so it's not exactly incredible. You have to make a DC 20, and if it's a lower level character, they probably won't have much more than, say, 5 skill, which means that you have a 60% chance of actually achieving that, but yeah, generally the dice gods are against you when you really need it. Yeah, so react. Once per turn, after Brimmin performs a melee strike that killed its target, reveal the top 10 cards of your deck. You may put one revealed fighter action card into your hand, shuffle the remaining cards into your deck. So yeah, they wanted her to basically be a beat stick where she moves up and gets to use lots of fighter actions. I think some people had some success with her, but I don't think she wasn't tier 1 basically. Alright. So, one with the blade, I believe this was a new card, not a reprint. This character permanently gains the ability order, spend a weapon equipped to this character, perform a +0 melee strike. Remove the card from the game. Bloodthirsty, this was a classic. React, after this fighter performs a melee strike that killed an opposing character, this fighter performs a melee strike with an attack equal to the previous strike. So obviously this would be kind of your ideal card to draw with Duchess's ability, because that would allow you to do another strike. Verdatha. I don't remember if this is new or not, but anyway, this is really good. Paladins perform this action without spending, so I'm a huge fan of Paladins. This was a cool card. Spend order, search your deck for a steed this character can legally equip, and equip it to this character. Outmatched, this is also a really good card. React, after target opposing character enters play in the front rank or moves into the front rank. If this character is in the front rank, perform a melee strike against the target. So this is another good card that she can pull if she's obviously in the front rank, striking other characters. Generally, if you've killed something, there's a high chance that you're going to cause some legal rank, which means something has moved up. And so generally this is what you would play after that happens, and get a free strike. And it's good because it's also level 1, so basically anybody can play it. Thrust, this is another easy strike. Order, discarding number of cards, perform a +0 melee strike. This character gains +5 attack for this strike for each card discarded. So basically a free strike. And if you have any useless cards in your hand, you can chuck them. Crush, before this fighter makes a melee strike roll, gain +5 for the strike. If the strike hits, immediately destroy one item equipped to the target before wounds are inflicted. So this was a game changer back, or whenever there was, I guess when the general decks were all melee tanks, because that could, again, destroy a really powerful item equipped to that the opposing Warlord. But when the field was a lot more varied, this was definitely not nearly as powerful. I Have Your Back. This is a very old card, I guess classic as well. Not entirely powerful, but better than Defend, because this is a guaranteed defend basically. After another character in this rank is targeted with a strike, the strike is redirected to this fighter if possible. Meet at the Inn. Now that's a classic card. This is always a pleasure to get here and use. Order, all players may draw a card. You may draw an additional card. Lord Argen Dilchant. So this is one of my favorite characters of the Deverinians, and a lot of people basically wish he had been a Warlord. The art is really cool. There's a foil version of him in one of the older sets. I think it's an Epic Edition, and it's beautiful, beautiful. So basically, yeah, level 5, Deverinian Paladin, unique, riding +7, so he's got a 7 already. That means he needs to roll a 6 or better. Argon may perform actions and is treated by card effects as if he were a Warlord. Order once per turn, kill Deverinian in this rank, ready Lord Argon. Yeah, so just all around, really good card. Kid Lionel, this is pretty cool. This is basically like that Lightning's Iron in a character. Spend order, target a Deverinian in play. Kid Lionel must succeed with a skill check of DC 15 to remove 1 wound from the target. So basically you have to roll a 9 or better, which means you have a 55% chance of making it. Yeah. The Beast Knight, also a classic card, used to be a rare, now it is, oh no, it was a rare, it used to be an uncommon maybe? I think it just jumped back and forth a couple of times. It's been reprinted a few times. The Beast Knight, level 3 fighter, Deverinian riding +5, your Warlord gains +2 to his initiative rolls. Mariah Blackthorne, this was a promo originally. 15 AC, Mariah strikes may not be cancelled, and this react is really powerful. Once per turn, after a strike targets Mariah, cancel the strike. That's really cool. This is also one of the best arts out there for Paladins. Really cool. I believe the artist was Italian. Yeah, Stefano Baldo. Yeah, I'd love to have one of these signed. Anyway, Paladin, Deverinian, level 4, Order of the Storm, a Druid. So Magnus Arcadis may cast level 1 cleric spells. Other Deverinian fighters and rogues in this ranking +1 level for performing action cards. So he's not the most powerful card, but it's just such a beautiful card. Magellan, level 3 rogue, which is not too common in the Deverinian faction. Once per turn, target a Deverinian you control. Until end of turn, the target has an additional melee strike base equal target's lowest attack when he attacks. This is one of the cool arts as well. The Black Sun Knight. Deverinian Paladin, Black Sun Knights gain, the Black Sun Knight gains +1 attack and AC for each other evil Paladin in play. So that can add up pretty quickly, especially if you're playing an all Paladin deck. Another Magellan. Lord Miracus, that should have been a Paladin, but he's not. Just a level 3 fighter, 2 hit points, spend an equipped weapon, perform a melee strike. Get 2 of those. Sir Edgar Relian, Paladin, level 4 fighter. React after you lose initiative by 5 or more, move forward 1 rank. React after you win initiative by 5 or more, perform an attack, spending as usual. So obviously some of those are useful at certain moments and some of them are useful in other moments. Dahlia Gennecourt, level 3 cleric. I believe this was a new card for the set. Unique, Canter, react once per turn. After target opposing character wounds a Deverinian you control, the target suffers a penalty to attack, AC, and skill equal to the wounded Deverinian's level. That's pretty cool. So fan favorite, Squire Fendrick. Order once per turn, spend a character in this rank, move forward 1 rank. If Fendrick moves, he may perform a melee strike. So you can spend himself, move forward, and perform a melee strike, or you can spend someone else to move him forward, and then he performs a melee strike, and then can spend again to attack. So pretty useful. Sister Megaria, level 2 cleric, also really powerful. Deverinian Cantor, spend order, target a higher level Deverinian you control. Target gains +2 attack, AC, and skill until end of turn. So a very classic starter for the Deverinians. This is also a pretty cool Deverinian, a Paladin. Higher level Deverinians in this rank gain +1 attack and +2 AC. 2 of those. Darius. Fortunately, not many people used him, but he was in the base set. Darius and adjacent Deverinians gain +1 level for equipment weapons. Obviously, he would never equip a weapon, but I mean, the game never played it or lent itself to people equipping many lower level characters with weapons because they just don't last very long, so it's just not worth wasting the cards on them. Getting Court Initiate. Now this guy is a staple for any Deverinian deck. Level 1 Cleric Seer. Before Getting Court Initiate is killed, the next strike this turn against a character you control is a critical failure. Yeah, so super important, because if he dies, and it's not a spend react, so you can attack with him, and if he dies, the next strike that targets you is now a critical failure. Squire Aragon. Now these are cool. These are the Brine Fiend killers. Aragon inflicts an additional wound with melee strikes against characters without armor or a shield equipped. Inquisitor Cronius, level 1 Cleric, Deverinian Seer, spend a react before rolling initiative, your Warlord gains +10 to the roll. So if you really need to win that initiative, he's your guy. Gustav, this was a new card, level 1 Wizard, 12 AC, which is pretty high for level 1. After target character targets an adjacent Deverinian with a melee strike or action, the target must succeed with a magic save DC 12, or the strike or action is redirected to Gustav if possible. So it's kind of an inverse defend. But again, he doesn't really do much else. This is a good steed. Verdatha Mount. This fighter gains riding +5 if he is a Paladin. And order, spend Verdatha Mount, move forward 1 rank, and then order again is another option. Once per turn, spend Verdatha Mount, perform +3 range strike. +1 AC, +1 attack. Breastplate of Power. Now, this was amazing when it came out, and unfortunately they definitely neutered it when they reprinted it, because they reprinted it as unique. It originally was not unique, so you could have 3 of them in play in your first rank, stacking on each other. And this is other characters in this rank gain +2 attack and AC. And so yeah, definitely, it's a shame that they made it unique. Tower Shield, level 5 fighter item, 2 AC, shield, react after this fighter is targeted with a range strike, spend the Tower Shield, gain +10 AC for the duration of the strike. Not much of a staple. Now this is a staple if I've ever seen one as well. Brunter's Helm. Basically every fighter deck, this has to have at least one of these. This is +1 hit point. Griffin of Mizir. This was also something that came out in Good and Evil and was a staple as well at the moment it came out. That's because you can order to spend forward, or you can react before this fighter falls forward to fix an illegal rank. Spend the Griffin of Mizir. This fighter does not spend or stun before moving. So that can definitely... I've lost many games for not having him equipped. That react speed is really important. Scale Mail, basically like the Tower Shield, but permanent. This fighter gains +2 AC while targeted with a range strike. So if a range strike shooting you, you have 5 AC. Axe of Turgoth, a lot of people like that. I was never a huge fan. This fighter has an additional melee strike +2 attack when he attacks, so basically +5. I never really liked it because if you're going to do a high-level weapon, I think there are better high-level weapons out there. If this had been a little bit lower level, it would be a lot better, but yeah. Squire's Sash, level 2 classless item, unique. While equipped to a non-warlord character that shares alignment and a faction with your warlord gains the ability to react before target character kills a character you control with Squire's Sash equipped, performing melee strike against the target. So this gives you a free strike against whoever's going to kill this little guy. Northrog Psych, this is a really underappreciated weapon because it's so low level, and the react after target opposing character moves to within 1 rank of this fighter, spend the Northrog Psych, perform a melee strike against the target. So basically it's the same thing as Outmatched, but in an item. Double-bladed sword, we already saw that. If you hit an opponent and you had rolled 11 or higher, you can spend it to have an additional strike. Celestial Flame. This fighter inflicts an additional wound whenever he hits with an odd melee strike roll. That is okay, it's 50-50, but if you're targeting a planar character, you'll never be able to do that 2 wounds because planar is, you miss on an odd roll. Alright, so you got 2 of those. Warhorse, level 4 fighter. So this is the standard, very basic steed from Saga. Steed, order, spend the Warhorse, move forward 1 rank, and order, spend the Warhorse, gain +2 attack until end of turn. So that's not bad because even if you're in the front rank, you can do that second ability to be able to get +2 attack. +2 attack isn't a game changer, and unfortunately it also makes you lose tempo. So later on in the turn, yeah, it can help, but at the end of the day, Griffin is a lot better because of that extra react speed movement. Weapon Breaker, level 6 shield, +2 AC, react, fighter item. After target character targets this fighter with a melee strike, spend the Weapon Breaker. This fighter must succeed with a defend check, DC 16 plus the target's level, to destroy an item equipped to the target. So again, if you're fighting other fighters, this is a game changer. If you're fighting other classes, nah. You get an extra Inquisitor Cronius. Lexa Gettencourt, level 2 Paladin, defend +5 with 3 skill, 14 AC, only 1 hit point to attack. React after strike or action targets an adjacent Storm Wraith or non-fighter Deverinian. Succeed with a defend check, DC 20, to cancel a strike or action. So that's cool if you're playing with a non-fighter Warlord. But this deck is a fighter Warlord. So these are all these extra cards in the deck again. Darius, Minor Dragonkin, which we already saw. So the extra cards there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go, yeah, those are the extras. Alright, so let me know what you thought of the video. Let me know what you thought of the decks. They're very standard, basic decks. But again, they were good for starter decks. And let's take a look at the rares quickly. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So lots of characters in this deck. 9, 10. I'm actually surprised they didn't come with any rare actions given her ability. Yeah, no rare actions. Alright, well, again, I hope you enjoyed it. Please post any comments or questions you might have. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed that video. And I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.